Good evening. It is a Monday night, and that can mean only one thing: the season is back finally. And as you can tell, for the first time since 2012, 13 years ago,
2013, yeah.
2013, 12 years ago, the Colts have won an opening game. The streak is dead. The Undertaker has been pinned. It is all done. So just to get straight up initial thoughts on the Colts, did you watch? Do you watch? Well, we all watched the full game, Nathan, because let's be honest, we're tuning in for the future MVP of the league, Daniel Jones.
Oh, mate, just what a what an experience last night was. You like we've joked about it for many years. Any kind of long-term listener knows that even on our kind of old brand, we were not the most optimistic Colts fans, and we certainly weren't walking into last night. But just what a game. And Danny Dimes just truly dimed. And I'm sure we'll get on to it, but yeah, man, it just feels cool. Like we're 1-0 for the first time in 12 years. I mean, have we ever experienced this in our adult lives? I don't think we have.
I was 16 going on 17.
I would have been 20. Like, what's going on? What is going on? Crazy talk.
Oh, honestly, I still can't. And I think I think it was Cover Two who said it best, where it was like it wasn't just a win; it was a complete win. And I think when you said professional, we've seen the Colts struggle to get past Mac Jones and the Patriots.
Yep.
And I know Miami weren't great, and McDaniel's seat is going to be heating up very quickly. Tua was a mess, but how often have we seen the Colts play a team like that and be dragged into a game and either just lose it or win through a scrappy, like the referees are giving us an out, but that was just total domination.
And I really think that's like a crucial point. And I'd love to kind of ask a question to any of our viewers or listeners here. Like, I think you've hit the nail on the head. Like, many of the media are saying, "Oh, Miami were just so bad. Miami was so poor." We know that we'd usually be that bad, But last night we weren't. There was, Shane Steichen was just in his bag, and Lou Anarumo, like we've been calling for this for 3 years, and yeah, just I could talk about it for hours, and I'm not going to. I'm sure we'll talk about it on Thursday's show too. Yeah, just amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, we have a defensive coordinator. We have a defensive coordinator. Do you know how happy I am that it's not Gus Bradley anymore? But, anyway, yeah. So just a quick. So this is a new show we're doing. We're going to try and keep it short because Thursday is the main deep dive episode, and on Thursday we do have a Denver Bronco guest coming on to preview the Colts Denver game, which is now a big game because Denver did us a favor by beating Tennessee. Yeah.
Yep, Tennessee.
Yeah. Which is massive. So this is going to be a roundup of the weekly games where me and Nathan, we pick out the oddities from the league. We maybe look at some results that shocked us and some interesting games, which we all had in week one. Like we say, we spend a couple minutes on the Colts, talk about who was good, who was not. It was all good, realistically. For the Colts, it was all bad for the Dolphins. So getting into it then proper, the Colts have beat the Dolphins 33-8. And I'm just sort of still gobsmacked that Chris Ballard is going to have such an arrogant smile on his face. But I'm just so what? Okay, what I was impressed with, Moise, from Daniel Jones, I didn't think he had that elite pace throw in him.
Yeah, yeah.
I did not think he had that in him. He did what we knew he could do well. There was a couple I think we did get away with and he escaped from. But if I'm judging him the same I'd judge Anthony Richardson, I'd be saying, wow, what a game.
Yeah, and I think it's really important as Colts fans that we recognise that Daniel Jones played an incredible game of football last night. You know, the Colts scored on all 7 drives, which is the first time that's happened in the NFL since I think it's 1978.
Yeah.
You know, history happened last night, and you know, like I'd like to spend a week away from talking about Anthony. I really would, and I think you know, I think we saw last night why Shane chose Daniel, of course, to start. Like he was just in his bag, like calling 4th down plays in our own half, you know, just to keep a drive going. And we're going to talk about Jones a lot, but can we talk about the O-line for a minute? Just we're going to be a top 5 unit again this year. I don't care what anybody says. You know, that Miami team was top 10 in both areas of defense last year, and we made them just look like nothing. Incredible game from the line, absolutely incredible.
And so we'll pick a quick hero from the Colts game. And my hero, it has to be Daniel Jones for sending Chop Robinson to the shops for an ice cream with a hard down. Hey. Oh god, that's gonna be all one of them like blooper reels on VHS. I was gonna say then, but like you won't believe what happened next. Like, and it's got a funny soundtrack to it. Like, what? Just, I'm ecstatic, but now that was an easy win, right? Let's not mess around. The Dolphins were banged up, but to Shane's credit, to Lou's credit, they were banged up, but we didn't give them a sniff. They was a blowing PI call away from that being 40, potentially 50, nothing.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it is right for us as Colts fans and cocky Colt fans for 1 week this year to call out that Kenny Moore tripped in the end zone for the Dolphins touchdown. You know, never take a touchdown away from any team. But you know, Kenny fell. So you know, if Kenny doesn't fall and he makes a play there, as you say, that's a shutout win probably, and just wow, just wow. That's all I'm going to say about this game. Just wow.
So we've got about a minute left on the Colts. Have you got a hero? I'm guessing it's something to do with your name tag.
Yeah, anybody who's listening on Spotify right now, my name on Southbound show tonight is Tyler Warren is the real deal. This guy, I mean, he's the hero that Gotham deserves, right? You know, to kind of use a Batman quote for all my nerds out there. This guy's incredible. You know, we were rightfully high on him all year. Any fans of ours that we're so thankful for, you know, we banged the drum about this player all year, and he is just the real deal. I'll leave this segment with this. Michael Pittman was interviewed after the game and said that Warren could have got 200 yards. He believed that Warren could have got 200 yards last night, but they have hands to feed. I mean, what a compliment from number 11, you know?
Yeah, he looked like a 6-year veteran of the league.
He does, and he's just looks clutch. Like some players just have it. You know, any long-term fans, you just look at players, you know, and you just think, yeah, this guy's clutch. You know, let's think of Puka Nakua. You know, the guy's just a clutch machine. And Warren looks like he's going to be that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's enough of the Colts. Like I say, God, we haven't even talked about Latu, but anyway, we'll dig. Oh my God, I can't speak. We'll deep dive on the Colts on Thursday. Now to the rest of the league. So some interesting scores, Nathan. We can obviously talk about. We can obviously talk about Baltimore going full Colts and blowing a massive lead, and some interesting games. The Lions weren't as good as I thought. I'm trying to think. Spencer Rattler put on a decent showing. I watched a bit of him on Red Zone. But is there any games that stood out to you, and for what reason?
Yeah, I think my game of the weekend was New York Jets versus Pittsburgh Steelers. A scheduling for the ages, the NFL money machine picks Rodgers going back to MetLife as well. Week 1 of the season. What a game! Just like what I remember looking at the over-unders, the spread for any kind of betting fans watching, and I think it was 1.5 at the time. I think it was just a really tight game, but New York Jets, of course, looked refreshing under Aaron Glenn. They've got things to tighten up, but Justin Fields looked really good. Obviously good with his legs, like we know he is. But his passing was promising. And then go to Pittsburgh. Rodgers looked like he was 7 years younger, man. Just that perfect touch passing that he's got. Threw for 4 touchdowns last night, and in classic Rodgers fashion, called everybody associated with the Jets out in a post-game meeting. And spoiler alert, a play in this game is actually my villain of the week too.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I could say the obvious ones that stood out to me were, like I say, the Buffalo Ravens game. But the one I watched most of was the Packers Lions.
Okay.
I guess that was like the premier game on Red Zone at the time. It was just after the Colts finished. Because the Colts weirdly had a very quick game. Was it like 2 hours and 40 something?
We finally won the time of possession battle. Sorry, we're going to gloat this episode, guys. Yeah. We're going to gloat.
AFC champions. That's all right. I was really shocked at how the Lions just did not seem at pace. And when we played Green Bay last year, and I wasn't impressed with them. Obviously, things have changed since then, but just like I say, it's hard. It's hard week 1, but someone just maybe it's like they've had Jared Goff couple years now, and it's sort of like it seems all right. It seems like he's doing well. Should we call it the new quarterback bounce has worn off?
I don't know. I think that'd be slightly remiss of us to focus it on that. I think the narrative of Detroit this year was question marks, right? They lose the coordinators. They lose, the mad scientist. Well, we've got the true mad scientist in Lou Anaruno, but they lose Ben Johnson. They lose their center Frank Ragnow, which league-wise has been huge news. I think this was a fantastic job by Green Bay just stopping the run. Jahmyr Gibbs, who, in my opinion, is the best running back in the NFL, was just kept completely quiet. Amon-Ra, very, very quiet. Usually he'd take over a game like that. But I just think this was a classic kind of, old school defensive kind of battle and just contained like the Lions' biggest threats. And I don't think we've seen what this kind of new look Lions looks like just yet. Really interesting though to see the impact Micah Parsons had. Like, you know, bring stars in, and stars usually, make plays. But just a really good game from that Green Bay defensive front as a whole, I thought.
Yeah, like I say, it's week one, right? One game's not going to define your season, and I trust Dan Campbell can get the most out of that Detroit team. It just felt a bit like all the time we would see under Frank Reich, and God, for 13 years, we just wasn't ready for the season, and already you're on that back foot. Like, regardless of how close the game is or how well you're paid, you're already one behind. But let's be real, they're probably still going to the playoffs. Another one to look at was our mates down south, the Texans. Really struggled against LA. I thought, I can't say, like I say, this was just highlights and red zone watching. But from what I've seen, it felt like the Rams won without even getting out of third gear.
Yeah, I think the Rams had to win differently, didn't they? This was two really good defenses. I think, we're looking at defenses that are probably going to finish, top 10, top 12 here on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Pretty wicked play with Puka Nacua coming off the field with blood falling down his face, blood on his jersey. This was just like old school football, man. And what a cool sight for that kind of game sealing play. Stafford with the kind of no look pass to Puka, and then sidelines going insane. But yeah, it was a tough game, and you just fancy the LA Rams in games like that. Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford usually find a way. Fact for you, Stafford went over 60,000 passing yards last night.
Wow.
One of 9, I believe, or one of 10 to have done that in the history of the league.
That is a lot of yards.
And Chris Ballard wouldn't give the picks up to get him. Let's bring it back to the Colts. But no, big fan of Matthew Stafford. Think he's a future Hall of Famer. And yeah, just a really ugly kind of win for LA.
Yeah, and I suppose, I mean, I did think the Colts were going to have a perfect, should we call it a hate watch weekend? That's what the kids say now, isn't it? But obviously, we thought we were a bad franchise. Carolina, oh, I feel for their fans. I feel for their fans so badly. I was just looking through my notes then to see what I wrote, but oh man, it's not looking good.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think I remember when Ted McMillan's name was called on the night of the draft, and people were, acting like Carolina were ready to take this like huge jump sort of thing. And I think, many people need to kind of hold their horses a little bit. As you say, this team is kind of leaking needs right now, and just looked, rough last night. And Jacksonville, like, really didn't make easy work of it. I know the game obviously stopped for weather as well, which is obviously going to throw players off pace. They're going to cool down a little bit. But yeah, I just thought it was a really ugly game from the Jags too.
Yeah, I mean, Leon Cohen's got his work cut out for him. It's so weird. This is what I promise I won't keep it about this long, because we'll move on to our next section soon. This has just been games to highlight. We've highlighted a few. Obviously, everyone was playing, but the AFC is so weird because it was like the Colts have 2 former first round pick quarterbacks. The Jaguars have was Trevor Lawrence number one over? He was, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yep.
Which I didn't know I didn't get it, but hey ho. And now the Titans have God, what's his name?
Number one overall, Cam Ward.
Yeah. And the Texans have CJ Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I still feel like none of them could beat the elite level quarterbacks in the AFC. But like I say, that's for a different time. I'm just getting waylaid. So this next section, I'm going to ask you to pick out sort of like and these don't have to be culture related, but a hero of the week, a villain of the week, the best touchdown you've seen or the best play you've seen, just the highlights of the week where people might want to go and look at.
Yeah, where do you want me to start, man? Tee me up.
So we can do, like I say, how many? We could do a couple. We can bounce around, but let's go for your play of the week.
Play of the week was Isaac Sala of Detroit Lions, catching a kind of Odell Beckham Jr.-esque one-handed grab, just something catch of the ages, man. I mean, we're in week 1 and maybe we've seen, the best catch of the year. Yeah, completely my play of the week. I mean, I imagine it's going to be everyone's. That's a really boring answer for you. But just what a catch. And I mean, cool to see, players who get, or rookies especially, who get that training camp hype. Salah makes a play that lives up to that. Really cool play.
Yeah. God, I've lost all my notes somewhere, but you'll be able to tell me the players. But my play of the week, like I say, I've got two. The first one is Daniel Jones sending Chop to the shops. And my second one is the fourth down play in the Lions-Packers game. That hit from the Green Bay corner on the Lions receiver.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Oh, it's going to be really annoying. I'm literally, I had all my notes down and I can't think where I put them.
Sorry, we can come back to it. Back to me.
If you want to,
I don't know.
If you want to talk about your hero of the week.
Hero of the week. I've got to bang it in again. It's number 84. It's Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren has put the league on alert this year. And I have a nice quote from Southbound valued member Robbie. Robbie sent this message earlier on, and he summed it up better than I ever can. Fuck it, Tyler Warren is the greatest football player to grace the game. And he mic dropped that. So I'm going to mic drop it too. No, in all seriousness, it just feels special. It just feels, as I say, sometimes players just have that clutch feeling about them.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyler just has that. 7 receptions for, I think it was 74 yards or 79 yards. My notes are eluding me. Let me just triple check. Tyler Warren, 76 yards, very, very close. And he's taking snaps at fullback, getting, converting downs. Like this guy, had me on Fanatics last night looking at a jersey because I've been waiting to order a new Colts jersey. And yeah, I'm gonna keep banging the drum all year about this guy. He looks like a running back when he catches the ball as well. Just the guy's special. That's my hero. He's the hero we needed.
Yeah. My hero of the week is So I've tried going out of the Colts, and I've just ended up at probably I've ended up at the quarterback I wanted to pick up instead of a couple of others, and that was Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm.
Rock solid performance from him against Atlanta. I just really like Baker, and the fact that they picked him up for one first, I think it was, is ridiculous. But he went 17-32, 167 yards, 3 TDs, and rushed 5 for 40 yards. Like, he just maybe Hero's a bit strong, but just like what you want from your veteran QB. But if you want a true hero and you want a Homer hero, because this is a Cole show after all, it has to be Indiana Jones, because the whole of the NFL was watching this game, including myself, and the whole of the Colts stratosphere was ready to implode at the first missed pass or the first interception. And he would have known that going into that game. Shane Steichen knew it. And he performed.
Let me ask you a question on that one, mate.
Go on.
Did you foresee Michael Pittman Jr. getting back in the long pass touchdown game entering last night?
I didn't.
We haven't seen this for 2 years.
Yeah.
Just a great feeling seeing number 11 catching, big jump balls again. Awesome feeling.
Yeah. So the last one we can end on then is villain of the week.
So my villain of the week is Pittsburgh Steelers cornerback Jalen Ramsey, who is just a timeless wonder, the biggest trash talker in the league, or at least one of them. At halftime, when they went into the locker rooms, Ramsey was kind of out there, fight. There's a lot of fighting and scuffling in this game, but Ramsey was definitely the one at the core at halftime. And of course, when he's needed, when his number's called, he makes one of just the nastiest, cleanest tackles you're going to see in the league this year on Garrett Wilson to seal the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So yeah, Jalen Ramsey is my villain. You?
Do you know, I've realised that when I said my player of the week, I think that's the player I was talking about, and not Green Bay Lions. God. Was that on fourth down?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like,
it's all right.
That
you were in sync.
yeah. That was my player of the week, because that hit was just violent, man. That was, what you wanted to see. So if you listen to this now, go back and correct me for saying it wrong, because, like I say, all my noise gone. But anyway, my villain of the week, it has to be the Miami defensive coordinator, Anthony Weaver. Is it Anthony Weaver, I believe?
It is, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Brother. Like, Shane Steichen, I don't know if you've seen the video of Gary Neville. For those who don't know, is an ex-soccer player. He tried coaching at one point, and he remembers saying he'd come up against some of the elite coaches in the world, like your Luis Enrique's, and that's when he realised this is not for me, because he just got levelled every single way possible. If I was Anthony Weaver, I'd be rethinking my career choice, because Shane Steichen and Daniel Jones maybe look that bad. What hope have I got against some others, Josh Allen and the Bills?
Yeah, I mean, and let's not forget too. Weaver ran a top 10 defense last year, but Shane was just calling plays with a level of comfort and confidence that we haven't seen for quite some time, and that's probably telling to the quarterback scenario, right?
Yeah.
Last night we saw quick releases. We saw Jones taking the check down. We've been kind of praying for a Colts quarterback to do that for quite some time now. And, Jones was making the simple stuff easy last night, and then obviously impressed us with everything else. One thing I was really kind of excited for by that, man, was, Jones being so involved in the rush game, in the red zone.
Yeah.
So are we going to run like a Jalen Hurts-esque offense this year? But not to overtake your point.
No.
Yeah. Shane was in his bag last night. It was great to see. We've given Shane a bit of tap in the last few months, but he shut me and you up big time.
Yeah. I know nothing about football, obviously. Yeah, and I think, the good point to say. So that's sort of the end of the highlight roundup. Like I say, it's just usually a quick couple of minutes on things that have gone on throughout the league. There is one more game to go. But have you got anything else to say?
It'd be remiss of me if I didn't read out Ed's comment. So Ed couldn't join us tonight, guys. So shout out to Ed first, Coach GB. Shout out to Ed. And I asked him for some words that he'd want to share with the world tonight. And his words were, Danny Dimes is the greatest quarterback of all time. So I'm going to leave you all with that.
Well, that was a good, solid, professional win from the Colts. You can only beat what's in front of you. I'm not going to take that away. They all count the same. Every win counts the same. But now let's get on a roll. Let's go 2-3. Let's roll it into 4. Before you know it, momentum's massive in American football. Go out there and go and get 2, 3, 4 wins and really put a foot in the division of, this is a new era for the Colts.
Let's not forget to. We'll talk about this on Thursday, but Denver gifted the Titans a chance to win the game last night, and Cam Ward was let down by his receiving core and B, his O-line. Both were terrible on that 4-and-out. But yeah, we'll get into that on Thursday.
Yeah. This is going to be more. Please let us know if you like it. It helps us decide. It will get more refined as we go. But man, the Colts have won for the first time in 13 years. That just feels so good. And I'm going to end this stream by simply saying thank you to the Chicago Bears for not taking Tyler Warren.